Sorry, my camera, I guess, ran out of memory, so I am starting over with this. This is a coloring book I got at Barnes& and Noble, classic comics coloring book. And I love comics and coloring, so I just thought I would give this a try. Here's a couple of ones that I did. Coloring is just so relaxing. I think it's just, if you have a rough day, you can unwind by just coloring and vegging out. So I really enjoy this. Another kind of creative fun book is the literary listography. It's list based. It asks different questions about books. My top picks for each genre: children's books, comics, history, horror. It's just a fill in book. It's fun. It's a journal. Has different categories. Fictional characters I'd go on a date with. Character and what book they're from. Dystopian books I love. I don't really like dystopian. I never read it. I never tried it. So maybe I'd like it if I tried it. I shouldn't say I don't like it. Books that I will skip. Maybe dystopian. Fictional characters. Oh, I already read that. My favorite films adapted from books. So there's that. I have a bunch of children's books. I Kill the Mockingbird by Paul Acampora. This is about a few kids that they try to destroy every copy of To Kill a Mockingbird, I believe. That sounds really bad because obviously that's a classic, awesome, amazing book. But I think there's a specific reason that they want to do this. I don't know what that reason is. I forget. But I thought this looked really cute. It is, let's see. One blurb says, I Kill the Mockingbird is a novel that speaks of mighty things in the midst of an ordinary summer. While in the midst of a hysterically funny, ordinary summer, its adventure has one goal, to extol the glory of reading. But Acampora, the sly dog, has something else to extol too, the glory of living. So there's that. I have Neil Gaiman's Fortunately the Milk. Neil Gaiman is talked about a lot on YouTube. I have read a few books by him. I've read Coraline. I've read The Ocean at the End of the Lane, Stardust, and I think Coraline was my favorite out of those three. And this has really cute illustrations. It's kind of reminiscent of Roald Dahl. It looks kind of like a Roald Dahl book. And Roald Dahl was like one of my favorite authors growing up. I read so many of his books. The BFG, Matilda, and that's another story. But this book looked really, really cute. So I thought I would pick it up. It's kind of hard to resist those cute illustrations. So, and it's illustrated by Skottie Young. So this is obviously Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. I am one of the few people left on this planet who has never read Harry Potter. There were always other books I wanted to read more than Harry Potter. My mom had bought this book for me, or a different version of this one, the hardcover, before it became, a huge thing. And I had read like the first couple pages of it and just didn't continue. I guess I have a problem with sticking to things. So I read a couple of pages and then put it down. But obviously, it's Harry Potter. So I always hear about it. People are shocked I haven't read it. So I finally said I've resisted it for a long time. I thought, I'm not into fantasy. It doesn't look like something I'd be into, like wizards, and I don't know if they're dragons and just magic and spells and stuff. So I resisted for a long time, but this is like everyone's favorite book. And so I thought, just give it a chance. So I went and I bought it, and I'm planning to actually read it. So when I get to it, I will let you know. Flora and Ulysses. This is by Kate DiCamillo, and she has written a bunch of children's books that are pretty well regarded. I think Because of Winn-Dixie was one that she had written, and she just came out with another one called like Rainy Nightingale or something Nightingale. But this one looked just so cute. I love children's books. I love illustrations. I think children's books have some of the best covers. Like they're just so beautiful and colorful, and just they just make me think of being a kid again. And I think part of me misses that, you know, and buying books and reading them. So I got back into reading children's books and used to be kind of embarrassed about it. Like, I'm, you know, somewhere between 20 and 50. Do I really want to be reading children's books anymore? But the more I saw people talk about children's books on YouTube, it kind of just encouraged me. Like, there's nothing wrong with it. Books are books. There's awesome stories for every age, and children's books can be for adults too. So I really appreciate them. This is a Newbery Medal winner, so probably be really good. It's about a girl and her pet squirrel, and I guess Flora's the girl and Ulysses, I'm assuming, is the squirrel. So it's called Flora and Ulysses: The Illuminated Adventures, and again, illustrated, cute little illustrations. I can't resist pictures. You know, I'm like a little kid. So another book I have is The Imaginary by A.F. Harrold and illustrated by Emily Gravett. This caught me, of course, by the cover, and just so beautiful. The pictures are very cute too. Very pretty. Black and white. To be honest, I did start this book and I have a little trouble getting into it. I think it's really cute, but it's not propelling forward, I guess, the way I'd like it to. And it's not very long, so I don't know. Maybe that's not saying much. So maybe I just need to sit down and give it another chance. Like the back is really cute, too. I just love the illustrations. Emily Gravett, I don't know if she's illustrated anything else that I've heard of, but if anyone knows and would like to comment on that, that would be interesting to know. I have so many books in here. The Last Child by John Hart. This author I actually met at a book signing. He's very, very nice. He writes mystery, thriller, I guess, courtroom kind of case books. This one intrigued me because it's about a child whose sister disappears. He decides to hop on his bike. He has a map, a bike, and a plan. He's going to go find his sister. And I thought that's kind of exciting. And he's like a young kid. I don't know how old he is, but he's going to go find his sister. And I got John Hart to sign this for me. And he was a really, really nice guy. And he's from North Carolina, which is where I currently live. And, you know, the day I bought this, I was in the bathroom with it and dropped it in the sink when the water was running. So it's kind of got a little water damage, but oh well, I don't think, yeah, the signature didn't get ruined, so that's good. And this looks like a real page turner, and I love thriller mysteries, so I'm going to try that one. Next book I have is The Martian by Andy Weir. It kind of needs no introduction. Big movie, big book. I've heard this book is really funny, which is kind of surprising. I have not started it, but I've heard really good things about it. I just hope it's not too technical and sciencey because I'm an English major and I am not good with that kind of stuff. I don't know what side of the brain that is, if it's right brain or left brain, but whatever brain side of the brain your science is, I'm on the opposite side, whichever brain you use more of, which side you use more of. So I'm not very sciencey, but I think this book is very appealing to a lot of people. I think they said it was really funny and pretty much a page turner. So I'm looking forward to getting into that. I be honest, this is not going to be on the top of my list as far as reading because I have a lot of these other books and all these cute children's books I want to get to and look at the pictures. And like I said, I'm just like a big kid. So now this humongous book, I'm not sure what I was thinking when I picked this up, honestly. 11/22/63 by Stephen King. It's about a guy, I guess, who invents a time machine, and he goes back in time to the 60s, 1963, to try and prevent the Kennedy assassination. I'm not positive on that, but I think that's kind of the gist of it. This is a humongous book. It's like it's as big as my head. So, I don't know when I'm going to get to this. I like Stephen King. I don't like all of Stephen King. Misery was my favorite book. I loved Carrie. The Shining I didn't care for so much. I think it was because I had been spoiled seeing the movie so many times before I read the book. I didn't find it that scary. There were a few moments that were kind of really, really creepy for me. I don't get scared a whole lot. I'm not that squeamish, but Misery was a definite favorite. And then so this one, the premise is really intriguing. I mean, the whole Kennedy assassination, that time period is very, a huge part of history. So I thought, what would it be like if Kennedy ended up surviving an assassination attempt and went on to, continue the rest of his career as president. So I guess that's what this book kind of goes into. I guess there's a television series on Hulu, which would be really interesting to watch. But I think I should probably get through this first, if I can, if that's possible. Next book I have is another graphic novel, Mouse, and this I've seen on YouTube quite a bit. It's about, I guess it takes the Holocaust and uses mice as, I think the Jews are mice, and I think cats are Nazis. So kind of interesting, like a cat and mouse chase. The metaphor fits pretty well, I think. The art in it is interesting. It's a little detailed, I guess, is what I'm looking for. It's very intricate, and I don't know if that appeals to me so much, but I'm interested in reading it. I heard this is very good. I like stories about the Holocaust. One of my favorite books is Night by Elie Wiesel, who was a survivor of the Holocaust. It's such a beautiful book, modern classic. I think everyone should read. So this book, I think, it'll be an interesting take on it to see a graphic novel form of it. So I have 3 books left to show you, and I'll try and get through them quick because I know I'm already making a long video, and I said I wasn't going to, but oh well. I like watching long haul videos anyway, so hopefully you do too. This is the Best American Comics 2015. I got this because I've been really getting into comics and graphic novels. So this has a lot of different comics. I guess the editor, Jonathan Lethem, they pick a new editor each year, and he goes through and picks out the best comics that came out that year. And some of the authors or the graphic novel artists he picked were Gabrielle Bell, Matt Brinkman, Roz Chast, Eleanor Davis, Jules Pfeiffer, Ed Piskor, Joe Sacco. I've never even heard of some of these, or most of them actually. But I started this. Some of the comics are really strange to me. Kind of very dark, disturbing. Some of them make no sense, I guess, but some of them are interesting. It's a big, thick book, and I like colors, so this is kind of it's an appealing, attractive book to me. I mean, whoever says they don't buy books because of their covers is lying, because look at this is cool. And I'm sure I started this, I haven't gotten very far yet, but I'm thinking it'll be pretty good. I think some of the comics I didn't like at all, and they just didn't appeal to me. But I'm open. There's a lot of different ones in here, so I'll check it out and finish it. This book, Bowie, The Biography by Wendy Leigh. Bowie, one of the first things you'll learn about me if you know me is that I'm a huge David Bowie fan. I always have been. I grew up watching the movie The Labyrinth, And in high school, I really got into his music and just absolutely loved it. I saw him in concert in 2003, and it was so awesome and amazing. I love him. I was very sad when he died earlier this year. And I had never read a biography on him, but this came out a while back, maybe a year or so ago, and then I saw it in paperback when I was on a vacation. I thought I'm going to pick it up because why wouldn't I read about a book about David Bowie and his life? So I'm really looking forward to getting into this. There's some pictures in the middle. Do you look at pictures in books, like if they have the little strip of pictures in the middle? Do you look at those before you read the book? Because I don't. I feel like I'm spoiling it. Like I have to wait until I actually get to that point in the book before I let myself look into pictures. So that's what I'm going to do. Otherwise, I feel like, yeah, I am cheating if I do that. So I'm going to read this. This cover is so cool, too. He's got the blue eye and the brown eye, and he actually has like two different colors, or he looks like he has two different color eyes, but really like one of his pupils is permanently dilated because he got in a fight when he was a kid. So that's a fun fact of David Bowie. So that's that. The last book I have is another little graphic novel. It's a children's graphic novel, and I just bent one of the pages, so good job. The Dumbest Idea Ever by Jimmy Gownley. And I think this is autobiographical about this author when he was young. And I think he loved to sketch and draw. And I think this is about him kind of discovering that talent and that love for comics. And it looks really cute. It reminds me of a few other children's graphic novels I read. I read Smile, I think by Raina Telgemeier. I'm sorry, I don't remember her name. And another book, can't recall the name of it, but it was about a little girl who goes to visit her grandfather in Florida, and that one was really cute illustrations. And I love graphic novels. I'm so into them. Like 2 years ago, you would ask me about graphic novels, I would have said I've never read any. I can't say anything about them, but I love them now. I call them graphies for short, pet name. So I'm sure I'm going to have a lot more graphic novels to talk about in upcoming videos, but for now, that's my list of books. I have more. They're just kind of packed away because I'm in the process of moving, like I said, and I can't really get to all of them right now. But hopefully I will be able to when I get settled and whenever I move to do more videos and show you what I have. Maybe do a bookshelf tour. I'd love to do that. I love watching bookshelf tours. And of course, there will be more hauls because I can't not buy books, even though I tell myself. I try to limit myself, the number of books I buy. I say read 10 and then you can buy 5 or something like that. But do I always stick to that? No, it's hard. Book lovers, you understand. Okay, well, that's all I have for today. I hope you enjoyed my book haul, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.